Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy, J Real. First things first, I just wanted to apologize for the terrible audio quality and I guess video quality on my last Borderlands 2 video. So, at the moment I don't have a good mic or a capture card, so my options for making these YouTube videos is pretty limited. But going forward, I'll probably just be doing audio overlays like what you're hearing now, just because I think it sounds better. But anyway, so been playing some Borderlands 2. I'm super hyped for Borderlands 3 to come, and about 2 weeks ago I started to get really hyped up and I decided that I was going to create a new character. So I made a Gage character on a sub account on my PS4. And yeah, so that's what I've been doing for the past couple weeks, and I've been farming for Norfleets because I like to sham fleet with Gage. And in my last video I mentioned that I was trying to get a specific class mod for Gage. It's called the Legendary Anarchist class mod, and I did get that class mod, so it definitely makes sham fleeting a lot more efficient. I'm able to build up stacks of anarchy much quicker, and so it's pretty awesome just for mobbing enemies. I've not killed too many raid bosses yet with that character, so there's still some work to do there in terms of perfecting her build and making her more powerful. So right here in this gameplay, I'm using my Siren, Maya. She is my main and my favorite character. If you'll notice here in the menu, all of my items are OP8. And that's because she is my highest leveled up character. And yeah, I'm actually using modded weapons and gear here. So the bee shield that I'm using is absolutely ridiculous. You'll see it right here. It's a grounded bee shield. And the damage output on it is just absolutely ridiculous. I'm also using a Torg Norfleet. So on the item card it doesn't read Maliwan, it reads Torg, and it actually shoots out explosive damage, which is really cool. So yeah, there's a nice shock Norfleet that I got. Unfortunately I didn't really need it because I had a better prefix Norfleet, which is the poisoned Norfleet. That prefix seems to offer the best damage values, and seeing as how I already had a shock one, I think I ended up just leaving it there. One other detail, what I did to do this is, and I don't know what, whatever your methods are for farming Norfleets, but seeing as how all my gear is OP8, I went ahead and scaled the game down to OP0. So you can see there Hyperius, it says he's level 74. So I'm basically using gear that deals more damage to kind of speed up this farming process. Now if you're new to Borderlands and you've never played it before, at least beat the game on a couple characters and do the first playthrough, then do True Vault Hunter mode, then beat it on Ultimate Vault Hunter mode before you start tinkering with modded weapons and gear. That's just what I recommend. There's no reason to just max out the game as soon as you try it out. I think it ruins it. And yeah, so those are my thoughts on it. I am using modded gear here, but I've put a lot of time into this game. In fact, I've played Borderlands 1 and 2 when they both came out, and I was quickly hooked. I love these games. It's straight up my favorite first-person shooter franchise of all time. I can't think of another first-person shooter that I get so wrapped up in like I do Borderlands. So I've put a lot of time into these games. In fact, when I played Borderlands 2 for the first time, I played it on the Xbox 360, and I maxed the game out on all the characters except for Gage and Krieg for some reason. But yeah, and then I got the Handsome collection last summer for like $30, and so that's what I've been playing on my PS4 here. So when I did that, I had to start from the ground up and make new characters and do everything. So I did a lot of that last summer, and so yeah, this is just, in my opinion, an easier way to farm Hyperius. There are other class mod tricks and things that you can do to one-shot him. Zero has you know, the bore skill, which basically you just use, you know, use a quasar or some grenade, a singularity grenade, to pull his loaders in line with him, and then you just slag him, and then you bore shot him, and you basically kill him. That method is about as fast as this. The only reason this method takes a while is because you have to wait for the grog nozzle to do its thing, to do its drunk effect, and then you got to switch to your Norfleet and then slag him and then shoot at the ground. So they're probably about the same speed. But yeah, if you want to see me beat Hyperius in just the traditional way, without gimmicks, without modded gear, you know, UVHM level 72, let me know. There are people that haven't played Borderlands 2 before and maybe they want some help. I know the first time I fought Hyperius solo, I died a lot. But after several hours of doing it, I finally got a nice method down with Maya. And I could usually kill him in like 10-12 minutes. So, but this is much faster, and since I've already maxed the game out and I've been playing it for years, it just makes sense to do it this way. So what I'll do is, once I kill him so many times, the battlefield gets really clustered and you'll just see a bunch of item spikes all over the ground, and it can get very confusing. And if your ammo's maxed out, you can't pick up the ammo, you can't reduce the amount of the huge number of item spikes out there. So what I'll do is I'll boot up my Gage character on my sub account, and then I'll bring Gage in and I'll pick up all the Seraph crystals and the iridium and the ammo and the money, and it really helps me clear things up and get an idea of what's laying out here. Right there I've actually got 2 Hornets. There's a tactical Hornet and a... oh, what was the other prefix? Can't remember the other prefix of the other Hornet that he dropped, but I already had a better one, so I kind of just left those there. He can also drop Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, Sledge's shotgun, and of course Norfleets of all elements. If you're in the market for an Norfleet and you're trying to get one, Norfleet's a pretty good rocket launcher, so the prefix doesn't necessarily matter. But if you want to get the best prefix, the best prefix for DPS, get the poisoned Norfleet. And if you're curious, just get on the Borderlands wiki fandom. It's updated daily, so if you want to look at usage and description of any of these items that I've talked about, including the Norfleet, you know, be sure to check that out. It's awesome. They show you all the different prefixes and what they do. So yeah, my ultimate goal here was just to get a corrosive Norfleet, because on Gage I've got a shock one and it's really nice, but I just didn't have a corrosive one, and so you'll see towards the end here I end up finding a corrosive one, so I shouldn't really need to farm him much more. So yeah, I went ahead and booted up Gage after I found it, and I grabbed it with Gage, mostly because the inventory on Maya is completely full. I've got like 1,000 items in my inventory, so I can't pick up anything anyway. But I don't need to. I've got every gun, every element of every gun on her. So yeah, there's that corrosive Norfleet. Now it's a predacious Norfleet, so it's kind of mid-range in terms of damage output. So yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with Borderlands 2. I'm super stoked for Borderlands 3. I cannot wait for it to come out. The gameplay looked phenomenal. I watched it yesterday. And so yeah, thanks guys for watching. If you want to see any more content, let me know.